And welcome to this edition of the Native News Update on this Tuesday, September 6th. I'm your host for today's program, Paul DeMain. Many of the stories read here can also be found at our website at IndianCountryNews.com, and here are some of the news stories from the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Opponents of a planned nickel and copper mine in Michigan's Upper Peninsula have mounted a last-ditch legal effort, asking a state judge to put a hold on permits for the project ahead of an initial blasting expected this month. An attorney from the National Wildlife Federation told the Associated Press the group had filed a motion for a stay in Ingham County Circuit Court, where Judge Paula Manderfield is considering opponents' appeal of the State Department of Environmental Quality's 2007 decision to grant the permits to Kennecott Eagle Minerals Company. Joining in the motion were the Huron Mountain Club, the Keweenaw Bay Indian Community, and the Yellow Dog Watershed Preserve. The groups contend the mine would jeopardize water and air quality in a remote forested area of northwestern Marquette County, despite company assurances it would safeguard the environment. Opponents say unless a stay is granted, the company shortly will begin drilling the mine entrance at the base of Eagle Rock, which the Keweenaw tribe considers a sacred location. Initial blasting is expected to start on and around September 14th, they said. Native American leaders urged lawmakers last week to safeguard Indian majority districts when the legislature redraws the boundaries of New Mexico's elected office districts. There are 9 districts, 6 in the House and 3 in the Senate, in which Indians account for at least 65% of the population. The districts are northwestern and north central New Mexico. A group representing the tribes and pueblos in New Mexico last week outlined redistricting proposals to a legislative committee that will continue the number of Indian majority districts. Native Americans represent 9% of New Mexico's total population and account for 4% of legislators, 5 out of the 112 members of the House and Senate. Several American Indians were arrested last Friday as part of an effort at civil disobedience in front of the White House, challenging the Obama and U.S. State Department, who are making key decisions regarding a proposed Trans-Canada Corporation Keystone XL pipeline. The Canadian First Nations say the pipeline threatens their treaty rights to traditional hunting, fishing, trapping, and gathering of foods and medicines. As they made tribal opposition to the tar sands visible to the world, Candy Mossett, Tom Goldtooth of the Indigenous Environmental Network of Minnesota, Deborah Whiteplume, Grits Crazy Boy, Robert Chinatis, Daryl Curley Yuppie, Patricia Speaks, Marty Copenase, and Tonto Cardinal were amongst several hundred people who've been arrested in the last 10 days since those protests began. The tar sands pipeline proposed by the International Corporation Enbridge is opposed by over 80 Canadian First Nations and U.S. tribes, and several tribes have launched lawsuits to prevent the future extraction of oil from sand and the operational processes that uses large amounts of water and energy to convert it to usable oil. A federal appeals court has ruled that the Miami tribe of Oklahoma doesn't have the right to use a tract of land in eastern Kansas that it abandoned more than 130 years ago for a casino. Now, the tribe began trying to get approval to build a casino near La Sinji Lake in Miami County more than a decade ago. A tribal member had tried to donate a 35-acre tract for that proposed casino. In 1998 and 1999, the Miami tribe won Interior Department rulings declaring the 35-acre tract of land former tribal lands and eligible for casino gambling under the 1988 Indian Gaming Regulatory Act, even though the tribe formally relinquished the land when it migrated to Oklahoma. Department officials said at the time that the land qualified for gambling after the tribe in 1996 adopted about 20 non-Indian owners as tribal members, leased the land back from them, and exercised tribal government control there. But in 2002, Interior Department Solicitor William G. Myers III reversed that decision and said the Oklahoma tribe had no lawful claim at all to the tract. Native police officers did not break the law by burying eagle feathers with 2 slain Rapid City police officers in order to honor them, a federal prosecutor said, rejecting a call to bring charges by a different group. Representatives of the Black Hills Sioux Nation Treaty Council contend that the Native American officers had no right to possess the eagle feathers because they claim they were not enrolled members of a federally recognized tribe. Floyd Hann asked Rapid City Police Chief Steve Allender to return the eagle feathers. Allender then asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to review the situation. U.S. Attorney Brendan Johnson said the Indian officers who provided the feathers had the legal right to do so, according to the Rapid City Journal. Thomas Shortbowl in Oglala, Lakota, and president of Oglala Lakota College said eagle feathers are the highest honor that an Indian person can give to another. He called the presentation of the eagle feathers to the fallen police officers a nice gesture of respect and said he did not believe it violated the spirit of the law. The federal law is designed to prevent the wanton killing of eagles, not to keep Native American community members from expressing its solidarity with a grieving city or family, Shortbowl said. And that's going to be the latest roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. We want to thank you for joining with us and come back again soon. Miigwech.